The first time Amara Keller heard the girl's voice, she thought it was just another echo in the lobby. The headquarters of Keller. Dynamics rose like glass and steel ambition in the center of Frankfurt, reflecting the grey German sky with unapologetic confidence. Inside, everything was polished. Marble floors shone beneath soft lights. Assistants moved swiftly in heels and tailored suits. Time here was expensive. Amara stepped out of the elevator, her heels clicking with quiet authority. At 39, she had built her company from a borrowed desk and a stubborn belief that she would never again depend on anyone. Newspapers called her self-made. Investors called her brilliant. Employees called her strict but fair. No one called her mama. Ma'am. The voice was small, fragile. Amara kept walking at first, assuming security would handle it. But then she heard it again, closer this time. "I don't have a mama. Can I spend a day with you, ma'am?" She turned. Near the reception desk stood a little girl, maybe 7 or 8 years old. Her coat was too thin for March, sleeves frayed at the edges. Her brown hair hung in uneven strands, as if cut without a mirror. In her hands, she clutched a folded piece of paper, worn soft from being held too tightly. The receptionist looked flustered. "Miss Keller, she just walked in." "I was about to call security." The girl stepped forward before anyone could stop her. Her eyes were large, not begging for money, not even crying, just searching. "Please," she whispered. "Just one day." The lobby fell silent in that uncomfortable way. Silence does when wealth and need collide. Amara felt irritation first. This was inappropriate, unsafe, emotional manipulation, perhaps. Her schedule was full. A board meeting in 20 minutes. A conference call with investors in Berlin. "What's your name?" Amara asked, her tone controlled. "Lena." "And where are your parents, Lena?" The girl lowered her gaze. "My mama died last year. My papa, he works far away. He doesn't come home much." Amara's jaw tightened. She knew that kind of absence. She had grown up in a small apartment outside Munich, raised by a single mother who worked double shifts at a hospital. Her father had left before she learned to read. Promises had been made, visits postponed. Eventually, silence replaced excuses. "You can't just walk into buildings asking strangers to be your mother for a day," Amara said softly. Lena's fingers tightened around the paper. "I'm not asking you to be my mama forever," she said quickly, as if afraid the chance would disappear. "Just today. My school has family day. Everyone brings their mother or father. I don't want to sit alone again." The word again hung heavy in the air. Amara felt something shift in her chest, small but sharp. The receptionist leaned closer. "Should I call social services?" Amara hesitated. The logical answer was yes. That would be responsible, professional, safe. Instead, she found herself asking, "Where is this school?" Lena's eyes flickered with fragile hope. 10 minutes away. Amara checked her watch. The board meeting could be delayed. Investors could wait. But a child sitting alone at a desk while others laughed with their families. That image pressed against her composure like a bruise. "Clear my morning," she told her assistant quietly. The assistant blinked. "Miss Keller, the board." "Reschedule." Within 15 minutes, Amara found herself seated in the back of her own car. Lena beside her, feet barely touching the floor. The girl smelled faintly of laundry detergent and cold air. "Why me?" Amara asked, studying her reflection in the window. Lena unfolded the paper in her lap. It was a magazine clipping, a photo of Amara from a recent interview. The headline read, "Germany's most powerful woman in tech." "I saw you at the library," Lena said. "They had a magazine. You looked kind." Amara almost laughed. Kind was not a word usually attached to her name. At the school, children ran across the courtyard, laughter rising like birds startled into flight. Parents stood in clusters, holding coffee cups, discussing exams and holidays. When Amara stepped out of the car, conversations quieted. Some recognized her. Whispers followed. Lena reached for her hand without asking permission. The contact startled Amara. Her own mother's hands had been rough from disinfectant and latex gloves, but they had always been warm. It had been years since anyone held Amara's hand without expectation. Inside the classroom, paper flowers hung from strings. Desks were arranged in pairs. On one side of each desk, a parent sat proudly. On the other, a child. Lena led her to an empty seat in the back. "This is my mama for today," Lena announced with a shy but determined voice. The teacher smiled uncertainly but said nothing. They painted together, cut paper hearts, shared stories. Lena talked about her mother's cooking, about the way she used to sing while washing dishes. Her voice trembled. Once, but she kept going, Amara listened, truly listened. At lunchtime, Lena unwrapped a simple sandwich. She split it in half and offered one piece to Amara. "You don't have to," Amara said. "I want to," Lena replied firmly. Mama's share. The words struck deep. For years, Amara had measured success in numbers, revenue, growth, market share. She had built walls to keep out dependency, weakness, the kind of vulnerability that once made her cry quietly in her childhood bedroom while her mother worked late. Now sitting in a small plastic chair, eating half a sandwich from a child who owned almost nothing, she felt something crack open. "Lena," she said carefully, "who takes care of you when your father is away?" "My neighbor," Lena answered. "She's old. She tries." After the event ended, Lena walked slowly toward the gate, as if each step might erase the day. Amara walked beside her. "Will you be my mama tomorrow too?" Lena asked suddenly, not looking up. Amara's throat tightened. She could not promise that. She did not know how to be what the girl truly needed. "I can't be your mama," she said gently, "but I can make sure you're not alone." Within weeks, arrangements were made. Lena's father was contacted. Support systems were evaluated. Legal conversations began. Amara visited often at first, then more regularly. What started as mentorship quietly shifted into guardianship. Months later, Lena stood in Amara's apartment, staring wide-eyed at the city lights below. "Is this our home?" she whispered. Amara knelt beside her. "It is." Lena threw her arms around her without hesitation. That night, after Lena fell asleep in a bedroom painted soft yellow, Amara stood by the window alone. The skyline still shimmered with ambition. The company still thrived. The world still saw her as powerful. But for the first time, she understood that power was not control. It was presence. It was choosing to sit beside someone who might otherwise sit alone. In the quiet of the apartment, she felt the echo of a small voice from months ago. "I don't have a mama." Amara closed her eyes, a tear slipping free at last. Neither had she, until now.